ladies and gents, Chief Master Instructor Kenny Smith, Total Force Training Group. Haven't put a video on here in a while, so I'm going to cover some stuff that I've done in the past. I haven't really put anything on video, so I'm going to kind of show some things. First thing I'm going to do is this is the ball in my handgun. Make sure that bad boy ain't going to go boom here unexpectedly. Alright. We holster, now we got that took care of. Alright, first thing I'm going to go ahead and say, any of y'all start looking for polo shirts, this is a proper ICE thing. Is not, I mean, I haven't worn it out and roughed it up yet, but I want to thank my buddy Tactical Gear Scout. I want to thank Scott there for that. He sent me some stuff on there, and these things are nice. He spoke very highly of it. Chief Master Instructor Landis will have one to test out as well. So far, I like it. Feels like Under Armour. But I just want to go ahead and throw that shout out there first. We're going to talk about light selection and how to incorporate them into using a firearm. First things first, I'm going to kind of rant a little bit here. My Surefire E2D blew the bulb out. So I'm not happy about that. But cool thing is I can now work with that without blinding the friggin' camera there. Small light like this is a good thing. Obviously, I've got the DNA collector up front. You can really use that to enhance pressure points and stuff like that. But it's not necessary. A small, powerful white light is a good thing. The light I've been carrying lately is the Innova X5 LED with green LEDs. It's just a backup light. I usually have kept it in my bag or in my car. So, I just kind of dropped it until I get me a new bulb for this. So, I'm thinking about getting one of the E2D Ultras. The LED version is 500 lumens. So, but anyway, both of these are about the same size, just a couple inches there. Both have the push button tail caps. The Surefire's is clicky, so it'll lock on, whereas the Innova, you twist it to keep it on. But from a self-defense perspective, really, you don't want to leave the light on if you can avoid it. The other type of light is one that I highly recommend every single person on here carrying, make sure it's still got some juice left, is the big 4D mag light. Obviously, you could focus this and do all kinds of good stuff with it. But it's getting up here into a side switch besides the obvious impact weapon capabilities. There are some differences between the two, and of course you can have side switch lights that are considerably smaller. With the side switch light, the good thing about it is if you're not going to a handgun, you could be checking your tire or whatever. My batteries are about to go, but you could be checking your tire or whatever you have to do and lighting things up and still have it in a position where you can fight with it if need be. Or maybe I just have a short. There we go. Terralux LED time for this bad boy, I believe. But, we still have, I like to use my my lockdown finger because I'm a right-handed shooter. I like to use my lockdown finger to activate that switch. Whichever one works for you. But nevertheless, you can use your pinky, you can use your social finger, you can choke up high on use your pointer finger. I like to use, like I said, I'll use this third finger, my ring finger. Being a right-handed pistol shooter, usually this is going to be in my left hand, so that's the wedding ring finger, lockdown finger. But I'm up in this position, maybe a Harry's technique there, or maybe I'm just changing a tire and trying to see what's going on. If I need to, I'm immediately ready to use this as an impact weapon. Couple positions you can hold a side switch light from. Obviously, you can use the neck index, you can use the old FBI search method, or you can use the handgun. Palm to palm, look over the top. Okay? If you're using the neck index here, I kind of like this one because it lights up my sights too. If you don't use night sights for whatever reason, it's probably a good option. Or the old FBI method up here, which works really well for assuming my bag is a corner, coming around and seeing what's in there. Out here, creating distance. There's upsides and downsides to all three. Not the least of which being where your light is attracts these nifty things that don't do your body any good called bullets. That's unavoidable, okay? If you have the light up here, obviously the bullets are going a little bit further away from you. If you take a shot in this area, unless you get up here and to some of the arterial stuff, you do carry a tourniquet just in case, right? Obviously, I can get in and I can still make things happen here if I need to. If maybe I've transitioned grip for one reason or another, coming this way, obviously that goes down. I can still use this hand if I need to. Whatever. It's doable. The neck index is good, but it attracts bullets into my chest and head area, okay? And that area does not react well to bullets. No real part of your body does, but that area really doesn't, all right? And the last one is the Harry's, which we'll get into in a little bit with some of the smaller lights. This is my preferred with a big light like this. It's not easy to do in a squared off isosceles type posture like I like. You almost have to bend the arm a little bit and make it a bit more, well, at least I do, maybe you don't, but I certainly do. That's why I'm not a big believer in this perfect shooting stance. It's just a posture. As long as you've got your sights on target, you should be able to make a good solid hit. Really, you shouldn't even need your sights at certain ranges. Inside 5 yards, 5 to 7 yards, you should be able to shoot metal and meat. And what that means is I'm just bringing the gun up and indexing best I can. Might not have perfect sight picture. It's not point shooting, but it's not aim fire either. Okay? I'm basically imagining this 2x4 here, that's beside where the camera is, and I'm putting metal on meat. Alright? If I'm shooting at that 2x4, okay, or in this case the camera, if I'm pointing at the camera, I'm not on my sights at all. I'm pointing directly at the camera, and I'm covering that cell phone box up with this weapon. I'm going to hit that camera or pretty close to it. I didn't say you should use that at an extended range. I just said you can. So, just because I'm not in a perfect shooting stance with perfect sight picture doesn't mean I can't get my hits. So if I have to compress a little bit to get my posture where I want it, I should still be able to make hits there. It's another reason I'm not very fond of the 10mm, 357 SIG, certain 45 weapons with a lot of recoil, because that can come up and bonk you. Okay, no, the muzzle is not near my face. Okay, but that can be a problem. I mean, imagine you're here and you catch a 10mm back up here. You're not wearing a ball cap or something and it hits you in the head. I mean, that is something to think about. All right, yeah, I mean, you got a nice hard posture on it, but there's a lot going on. Okay, so if you have to compress, this is good. This is not very good. But this is about as far away from my body as I can get this and still feel confident with making my hits. So, at least that's with a bigger light like this. Like I said, with all your hardware choices, there are going to be upsides and there are going to be downsides. Like I like Glocks. Downside is I have to be really, really careful. There's no manual safety on them, and trigger pull's not very long, not very heavy. So I have to be very careful with my manipulations there. But the big light is something you should train with, for one, just because you should keep one in your car. Check your tires. Very good anti-car theft tool when you're sitting in there. And of course you got a nice light, and it's easy to carry. Just throw it in your vehicle. I keep this one between my seats. It comes inside with me. But anyway, something to keep in your vehicle. Learn how to use it. It's good to keep in the home, because maybe you come upon that home invader here. It's there. He's got a buddy. You may not necessarily want to shoot him. Just cold cock him and see if he's got a friend. You have an intermediate force option there. Next option there, we'll use the smaller, more of a general purpose type of light in my Innova. Okay, obviously, now we can still use the neck index. We still use the old FBI search technique out here. We can use the Harry's technique, which I really like with this light. With some lights, if they have a more pronounced switch on the tail cap, you can pull it in and use a syringe technique, which is where you hold your light like a cigar, thumb up in the web of the hand, and that's not very easy for me. I'll tighten it down a little bit, get a little bit closer to constant area. That way I don't have to push it as far. But you can activate it there. Firing grip here, make your hands together, thumb over thumb like you normally would, squeeze it in, you get your light. Right there. I don't really like this technique. I mean, it's doable. I prefer something like the Surefire Z2 or G2Z for that grip position. But you can do it with a light like this. It's kind of short. You can use it as a Kubaton, obviously, enhancing pressure points. For any of you hot keto guys out there, you can use it for a thumb bomb. which is Korean for short stick. You can use any way you could use a short stick. You can use this, a Yawara or pocket stick. Obviously, you know, if you're in a Harry's position, if you need to go into weapon retention, bang! All right, as you bring that weapon around, it's arcing. 1, 2. You know, my muzzle is well below my hand, so if I'm over here on this bag, 1, 2. All right, maybe you shoot up here. 1, I'm off to the side. I'm not muzzling myself. 1, 2. Now, so if I need to, I can stay in there. All right, that's one good option for this. If you're going into, you can actually incorporate this with 1, 2, and get the weapon into the fray as well. Obviously, if I get a click, you know, we're here, bang, bang, he's taking my rounds up, I get a click, I probably don't want to keep moving backward. Maybe now I can go in and forward. All right, if my slide block back because I've shot him dry, fine, boom, hit him here. Across to the top. Obviously, I can use the light as a striking implement as well. Just try to throw a few combinations out there. All right, so Harry's technique here. This is probably my go-to light technique. Another good thing about this light is if you're going to an airport or something like that where weapons are foreboding, this doesn't look. I carry this light in airports all over the country. Hell, I carry that Surefire in airports all over the country. Some people will give you shit for it, some won't. But this one right here, you're probably not going to get any flack anywhere over. It's not overly bright. Well, yeah, I'm not very fond of carrying this light. Like I said, now it's just kind of out of necessity. But I'm playing with the Surefire a little bit. On the Surefire, because of the way the tail cap is on the E2D, trying to activate it with the palm isn't easy. All right, in that instance, I just run this thumb a little lower, and I'll use the knuckle on that one. There's the posture on that. And I wish I had a bulb in here so you could see this thing lighting up. I'm actually pushing it and locking it on every time so I can hear the click. All right, and this is a pretty good posture. Obviously, the Harry's technique still applies to other striking combinations here. Take on a whole new meaning with this DNA collector strike bezel. Again, you can use this as a routine thumb bomb if you need to. Works really well in all these other positions. Masayub actually, I read it in one of his books. It's big on using the chest for one. That might be up close. All right, maybe I'm sitting here, whatever, police officer writing citation, whatever, boom, my hand plenty out of the way, and I can get my one-handed shots in if I need to. Just a few little tricks on using the flashlight with incorporated with your handgun. Now, you can always get into the other option. You know, a lot of y'all figured out or read on the resume, and maybe you haven't, so I'm going to say it, that I'm pretty big into Filipino martial arts. Stick and knife is kind of one of my things. All right, can I implement this and use it as a pocket stick like a Yawara to enhance my regular techniques while working with a knife? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you want to get into true stick and knife work, this right here is a pretty good combination. Blind them, whack them, cut them, stick them, cut them, and whack them again. You know, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. A good solid flashlight should never not be part of what you carry. Even if you don't carry a gun, you should carry a flashlight. My house is pretty dark, so when I come in, there are times when I have to use a flashlight and unlock the damn door. Shit happens, all right? Now, does that mean I use my big-ass mag light to find the keyhole? Nope, that's what the little small light I keep on my key ring is for. But, now I apologize for stepping off camera. I've moved some stuff around out here, so I'm going to go ahead and make my pistol hot again. And that's it for this one. Hopefully the video turned out okay, because I ain't got much battery to come again. Y'all stay frosty, y'all stay safe, stay in the fight.